Good evening, everybody, and welcome into NBC's DFS and betting Q&A. It's Thursday night, so that means we got primetime football, and it's the first day of our fantasy football matchups for this week to help you guys out with Colts versus Broncos, lineups, bets, and Sunday decisions. Lawrence Jackson's in the building, along with Kyle Dvorchak and myself, Vaughn Dalzell. Kyle, good evening. How are you? Back home in Ohio?
I know we're both home. You said you're home in Western PA. I'm home in Ohio. I got to be honest, it being 50 some odd degrees at night when I take my dog out kind of sucks. I kind of miss being in the South already, but it is nice to be home. I got a wedding to go to. I can't play college football DFS, so I'm reeling. I've been defeated morally, so we really need a good night tonight.
Yes, we do. I just found out that Pennsylvania doesn't have college football player props. So my Saturday definitely just went down a little bit.
Right?
But my Sunday still looking strong. Of
Yeah, we
course,
got
Thursday
Sunday
night
for us.
football
We got
here.
Sunday for us.
Exactly. Colts and Broncos tonight. Lawrence, how are you doing, man? What's the news? What's popping?
Oh, good, man. Just looking at all these numbers and looking at the bets for the night, and getting ready to watch some football. Let's see what these two teams could do.
Yes, sir. Like I said, Colts, Broncos laying 3.5. Jonathan Taylor not in the lineup. We've seen this over-under drop from 44 down to 42 now. So certainly two of the lowest scoring teams in the NFL matching up tonight. Everyone thinks it's going to be a primetime snoozer, including myself. But Lawrence, we had a little discussion before this, and you said this is the type of game that you love and prefer. And Kyle said the same because he's got some Broncos stock. So why is this game so meaningful, and what do you expect to happen tonight?
Well, no, not just for me personally, like the game in general. Like I watch any football game. Like I watch a high school football game, you know what I'm saying? To me, it's like I'm a true down to the bone football junkie. Like almost this is all I know. So no, it ain't Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen, but we might get some fun defensive touchdowns from the Denver Broncos because that's what I'm banking on tonight.
Yeah, I hear that. I got some stock with these touchdown bets and defensive stuff, but we'll definitely get to that. I'm trying to get rich tonight, guys, because Kyle Juszczyk did not get the first touchdown, but he did look good. He looked nasty. Speaking of Kyle, what are you looking for into this game, specifically on the offensive end for the Broncos? I know we touched on that a little bit before the show.
Yeah, I literally am like arguing with two co-managers for a main event team, like one of these, I think it was like 1,600 buy-in main events, about whether we should start Melvin Gordon or not. And that's, I mean, like there are a lot of interesting things about the Broncos, but from a fantasy perspective, I just want to know what Melvin Gordon looks like. 'Cause he hasn't been bad this year in the sense of he's running fine. He was also running pretty well last year, particularly efficiently. But dude, hold on to the GD football. My God, it's take the football in the chest, both arms, stop losing the football. Because if he does that, he's a really good runner. He's smooth out of backfield as a pass catcher too. So I think we voted to play him in the. I think we're gonna end up playing him, but it's an argument, right? It's an argument about what are they going to use Mike Boone for? We saw Mike Boone actually kind of got run over him last week. Frankly, he had the early game fumble 6. He also came into the game with a neck injury, but I don't think that stuff is kind of sticky. I think Melvin Gordon being the player who like. Mike Boone's kind of a career fringe practice squad, fringe 53 man, whereas Melvin Gordon's a legit starting NFL running back. So obviously, like Broncos have very interesting potential on offense, but I think from a fantasy perspective, everyone just wants to know, are we getting like the Melvin Gordon sort of season winner, the league winner type of season from him? Because without Javonte, that is on the table.
Yeah, certainly. This is a big game for running backs tonight. We're going to be talking a lot about them because you said no Javonte Williams, no Jonathan Taylor. Everybody's got to step up in some degree tonight. We've already got questions if we can trust Nyheim Hines with Raheem Mostert on the bench, excuse me. So definitely a tough one here, in my opinion. But Hines looks like the guy that everyone's going to be betting on tonight, putting in their lineups. So, Lawrence, are you fading that or are you telling that?
I'm fading that right there. There's been plenty of instances where the starting running back for the Colts. I can't remember who they had off the top before Jonathan Taylor, but Nyheim Hines, it's almost like he has his best games when the guy like Jonathan Taylor is in the game. This particular now it is interesting because you got Philip Lindsay and Deion Jackson. There's gonna be a way where he just don't have that game that we think. I mean, I think he touchdown dependent. I think he's touchdown dependent. He's not gonna go for 18 carries and 98 yards, unless I mean, look, Frank Wright is on the hot seat right now. The GM is on the hot seat. Matt Ryan on the hot seat. So maybe they willing to do anything. But I'd rather have Raheem Mostert, who's just coming off 15 carries for 69 yards. And I'd rather play him against the Jets.
You feeling the same way, Kyle?
I think I would take Hines, but I kind of agree that this isn't the sort of like the swan song we've been waiting for Nyheim Hines. When it was Marlon Mack when they had him.
Yes.
It was clear. I think when Taylor is out, it means something for Hines. I don't think it is a 0 for Hines, but I do agree. They have a role they want Hines to play when Taylor is out. Maybe that means he picks up more of the Taylor pass catching work. So if you're in a PPR league, I do like playing Hines. It's just, I think they're going to lose this game. I think the Colts are down bad with injuries. I think the Broncos have run really bad on stupid plays like fumble sixes and fumbles on the 1 yard line. So I think the Broncos are a better team pretty cleanly coming into this game. That means negative game script, very good for Hines as a PPR option. But I totally agree. Like what I would project him for 10, 11 carries. Normally I'd project him for 5 or 6. So it means a little bit. It gets him 20 or 30 more yards on the ground. But I'm really just playing him over Mostert because I think he has a chance to rack up like legit 6 or 7 catches. This isn't Hines' RB1 season by any means.
You remember Josh Wilkins?
Oh, yes, I do. But it's Jordan Wilkins. I remember
Jordan Wilkins.
Wilkins.
That's who they used when Marlon Mack went out the game.
Yeah, like they legit think Hines is a very good third down. I mean, he's a legit punt returner too, I believe. So they legit think he is this good secondary option in the backfield. But you're right. Like we can't even remember who they're using over him between the tackles. That should tell you all we need to know about the fact that, yeah, he's good for like 9-10 carries tonight. So what a cut.
Yeah, what a cut for sure. Now, this is going to be a good game, man, in all ways. And we got a couple questions in here. I want to run through some quickly because they're all loading up now. Shout out to Elton on the question here. But Deeg, primetime snoozer. Definitely agree with you, brother. But we love to see a primetime snoozer. He's got a question here with his running back situation. So, Lawrence, I'll let you kick this one off first. And I will say Thursday Night Football is on a 14-4 run to the under. So primetime snoozer? I think so.
Yeah, so he's got, I believe the question here is Mike Boone over Cam Akers. This is wild.
Yeah.
That is even a question right here, bro. Like, Mike Boone. Man.
He's not Latavius Murray, that's for sure.
Handle business. No, you know what to do, Lawrence. Handle the business.
I can't start Mike Boone over.
Correct.
I'm not even saying, hey, man, start Cam Akers, but
don't start Mike Boone.
Mike Boone, that's tough, bro. That is tough. They're saying that Melvin Gordon going to be the lead dog. So I'm thinking 17 to 20 touches. I don't think Boone will have enough to give you what you want. I don't think Cam Akers going to give you enough, but he going to probably get more touches than Mike Boone. Now, if Mike Boone score a touchdown, then you got me. You got me. But I give it to Cam Akers. It's crazy that I had to talk this long to come to this conclusion, but that's what it comes down to.
No, Lawrence has got this. I don't need to comment. He knows what's up.
All right, you handle this one then, Kyle. Sutton or Christian Kirk this week?
Oh, that's I got a harder question. Lawrence got the easy question. I think I'll take Sutton. Sutton's been dominating the air yards and the targets for this team. And most importantly, he's also been getting a vast majority of the red zone and the end zone looks. Looks like a good bet to find the end zone this week. They're both like clear wide receiver ones for their teams. But maybe this is my Broncos bias bleeding in. But I like Sutton in this spot.
Trusting in Russell Wilson, huh? Letting Russ cook. Are we going to see that on Twitter tonight? Or are we going to see the hot dogs and cereal picks? That's what I want to know. Lawrence, do you have a preference on those two between Sutton and Christian Kirk? And, of course, we got to talk about our defenses on here because they're so important. So Broncos, defense, Vikings, or Jags?
Yeah, I'm gonna roll with I'm gonna roll with the best defense of all of these. That's the Denver Broncos defense. The Colts are dead last in scoring offense, 14 points a game. That's that ain't good. The Colts haven't covered in 3 of their 4 games. I'm gonna go Denver defense right here. I'm banking on that touchdown. No Jonathan Taylor. That is scary business right there. They getting 14 points a game with Jonathan Taylor on the team. That's gonna be, with him on the team.
Yeah, Broncos are the play.
I can't
Agreed.
even I picked up the Broncos in a couple of leagues this week and threw them in there. You got the low over under. Three of the four Colts games have went under. So yeah, Broncos all day.
Yeah, I will say, Mr. Givens here. I do like the defense for the Vikings, obviously going up against Fields, who cannot pass. You will not get a disagreement out there from me. But it is worth noting why the Jacksonville Jaguars look great this year, especially offensively. They have lost 7 straight games against the Houston Texans. Houston Texans have had their number. So,
Excuse me?
yeah, you didn't know that.
A real NFL team, not like a college team getting to scrimmage against the Texans, has lost.
Yes.
Any team has lost 7. Jesus.
Yes.
That's unreal.
Part of our cap this week for the Circa Vegas Millions concert, I'm going to be telling all the boys from NBC we're betting Texans +7, and they're going to be like, absolutely not. But yeah, the Texans have won 8 straight against them, 4-1 ATS in the last 5 as well. So I do like the Texans this week. Don't say that very often. Great question there from Mr. Givens, and from Nate, we got starting 2, Naeem Hines, Rashad Bateman, Brandon Ayuk. This is a tough one.
Well, we don't even know if Bateman gonna play.
Exactly. I think I would start Hines right now just because I assume you're asking this because the waiver wire options are kind of scant. Start Hines tonight and figure it out later because there's a legit, like, I don't know if it's 50-50, but it's not far off that Bateman doesn't play. So I would start Hines tonight, and then if Bateman doesn't play, I would take, obviously, Ayuk. If Bateman does play, I'd go Bateman.
I'll go Bateman if he does play. That's, we got 48.5 on that game. Cincy versus Ravens Sunday night football. They gonna be throwing that.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great one. The Ravens are 18-2 in primetime games under Harbaugh, and they are in a big old revenge spot here against the Bengals, who smacked up on them twice last year.
Sure.
Yeah, I definitely like Bateman if he plays. I think he's gonna have a big game. This one's a pretty good question too, because these are all wide receivers that I don't know how to play if I have them in my fantasy lineups. These are guys that are getting benched each week and then getting played another week. Definitely the zigzag theory in play for all these guys. Who do you prefer as a wide receiver 2 and a flex?
I'll take Jerry Jeudy. I really think this is Broncos bias coloring my, but the thing is, I know we saw Corey Davis led the team in targets last week, but there's something about what we've seen specifically from Garrett Wilson through 3 weeks. Obviously last week he didn't really get there. That makes me think he is like a true alpha number 1. And the fact that he was out producing Chris Olave at Ohio State, and Chris Olave looks very good too, that kind of confirms my bias, but it's backed by data, that in the long run, I'm betting on him over Corey Davis. And Zach Wilson, up until the final 2 drives of the game, did not look any good. So I'm going to fade Corey Davis, despite coming off a good week last week.
Lawrence, can I offer you Corey Davis in a trade with Jerry Jeudy and Tyler Boyd for Justin Jefferson?
Yeah. Certainly. Make sure you put Tyler Boyd in your flex to let me know that you was going to act like you was going to play him so he looked more important to you.
I've never heard of this strategy before, and I love it. I actually do love it.
People would do that. Like, it's done in every league I'm in. Like, the guy trying to trade away Zeke, you put him at, like, no, you're not. You're not doing that. You're starting Dameon Pierce over Zeke, and you're trying to give me Zeke, man.
Yeah, no, it's trade season, man. We're gonna have a lot of that coming on here. So this one got both your guys' boys in here: Drake London, Gabe Davis. Then we got Michael Pittman. Michael Pittman obviously looks like a pretty solid bet tonight, but I will throw it out there that Matt Ryan's numbers compared to in a dome to playing outdoors, much different. So definitely a little worrisome there. But who do you guys prefer out of these 3 receivers?
Shoot, give me Drake London. Especially now, it don't look like Kyle Pitts gonna play, which is just horrible. Actually, it's better that he don't play. Then,
don't make me play him for 2 catches and 25 yards anymore.
Like, it's better he don't play, because then I don't have to make no excuses for him. But yeah, I don't even know why I'm acting like Kyle Pitts not playing is a factor for Drake London. because he really
This
ain't.
committee tight end isn't playing. I guess it doesn't really matter, honestly.
Give me Drake London
Ugh.
and that they're pretty. Man, Marcus Mariota, but Drake London been pretty consistent outside of week 4. He been really good. I don't know what's up. They say Gabe Davis had a full practice this week, but I want to see, like they were saying, it's the ankle that keep him down. I got to see what that looked like first for I put that in there over Drake London. And the reason I take him over Michael Pittman, again, no Jonathan Taylor, that's going to affect Matt Ryan, and then Matt Ryan will affect Michael Pittman. Furthermore, Pittman's been going down every week. He went from 121 yards to 72 to 31. I don't like that trend. So just give me Drake London.
Yeah, totally agree. Like I have very low expectations for this Colts offense that has really gotten like their only success, not even this year, but dating back to last year, on hiding their quarterback, having a very good run game, negative pass rate over expectation each of the past 2 years, including this year. They're without their engine. And I'm not like, I generally think running backs are in the level of replaceable as far as them versus quarterbacks versus left tackles go. But this is a bad sign for this offense. They're in a very bad situation. So to me, Gabe Davis was never in the conversation, which hurts. I was in on Gabe Davis, but got to face facts. It's Drake London.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with this one too. I don't love it with Mariota only putting up a 3 or 4 spot in fantasy football last week, especially in my $200 league. That was phenomenal, guy. Definitely appreciate that. But I do like that question. I think that's a tough play. This one to me isn't as difficult. I'm definitely taking Derek Carr. Why the Chiefs defense, looked good at some points. I'd rather have Derek Carr in this spot against Russell Wilson. I would not be playing Russell Wilson at all in fantasy.
I ain't playing Russell Wilson, even if it was somebody else other than Carr. I'm definitely like, you had to get down to the guys like Daniel Jones before I start thinking about Russell Wilson or something. But Derek Carr, keep mixing up the two. His brother is David. Is Derek Carr and the Raiders that versus the Chiefs? That's the highest over under of week 5, 51.5. The last time I checked, Raiders fighting for their life. They're going to have to throw to keep up with this Chiefs offense that people still don't think it's that good without Tyreek, despite the fact that they just scored 41 points in Tampa Bay. Yeah, the Raiders gonna have to keep up with that. So they getting Hunter Renfrow back. They had Devontae Adams. They had Waller. And like I say, the highest over under of the week. So give me Carr, and this is easy for me.
Well, I think I'm outvoted 2-1. But actually, I do think you're right. I think the point you made, no. I think the point you made about the game looking like the stone cold nuts, like that is the highest total game of the week. Even the underdog has a good implied team total on that game. I think that point actually wins me over. It's the fact that looks like a game that from every angle you want to be targeting. So I actually am going to go Carr this week. You won me over.
All right, there we go. That's what we like to hear. Unanimous. This one definitely a lot tougher. How would you guys approach playing these two running backs?
It ain't tough for me. I'm playing Tyler Algier.
Yep.
Now it's crazy. It seemed like it's not tough, but we just saw Latavius Murray come up off the couch, fly to London, and did damn good for the Saints. And now he's on the Broncos. He played so well. Broncos like, hey, let's snatch you up off their practice squad. So who knows what Lindsey could do? But again, I'm loving the Broncos defense this week. Not that I'm loving the Falcons offense versus Tampa Bay, but Algiers looks solid. Now that Cordero Patterson is out, he'll have a little chance to shine a little bit. Alex, you picked up Philip Lindsay and gave yourself a problem that you didn't even have to have. You should just stuck with Algier, and now you picked up Lindsay because nobody else wanted him. And now you going crazy about it. Just go with Algier, man.
Yeah, Kyle, do you have anything to add to that?
No, that was my take. I think like we are more likely to see Philip Lindsay get work stolen from him by Deion Jackson than we are to see Tyler Algier by Caleb Huntley. Like there's still another. This is at least almost certainly a backfield for Algier and Huntley, whereas Lindsey could be the third back in a 3-back backfield. There's just so much more uncertainty. So it's Algier. It's not that close for me.
Yeah, I'll roll with you guys on that one here. I thought this was a pretty good question, though, because Jeff Wilson, once again, showed up on Monday Night Football against the LA Rams, putting up another impressive game. Better game than Cam Akers, I might throw out there, but no shade on Cam Akers, even though he was the only loser.
Why he getting astray?
Because he was the only loser in our same game parlay from Monday.
Oh, yeah, and I'm the
Kyle
one who
got the
picked
interception.
I'm the one who picked
Jeff
that
Wilson
too.
rushing yards. I got the
last
Jimmy
week.
G. Come on,
I'm the one
Lawrence.
who
That's
picked
on
that
you,
one
man.
too. That was what he had, like 2 total yards.
Yeah, I was about to say he didn't do anything, but hey, we were on Niners, bang bang Niners gang, and they came through, so I won't hate on it too much. I will throw it out there because I don't want to brag too. I do want to get into this question, but I live bet Matt Stafford throw an interception at plus 310 in the fourth quarter. I think that might be the new way of going about interception props. If it's the fourth quarter, you're down by 10
plus
points.
300.
Yeah. And I was like, yeah, I took that. And I was watching the game with a Niners fan. He said, I think the Niners defense could score. So I threw $1 on them to win 30. And that actually happened, the next touchdown score. So that was electric. But those are the way I'm going to approach these games from now on. This one is a cool question here. Are you dropping Antonio Gibson for Brian Robinson Jr.?
I mean, I would want to pick up Brian Robinson. I don't know if Antonio Gibson is worthy of being dropped.
That's kind of how I feel too. Do you have someone else?
Even though his stats been dropping every game, like we talked about this yesterday on Fantasy Happy Hour. I think it was Jay Croucher that said the Commanders are finding anybody to take touches away from Antonio Gibson,
right?
Including Jonathan Williams. You feel me? So I don't know if he droppable, but I try to find somebody else droppable and put Brian Robinson on the team, because before he got hurt, before he got shot, he was in line, like he was starting. He was the early down back there. So definitely get him on your squad. You got to update your logo too, man. That ain't the logo no more. That's probably why that's why I said Redskins, because this guy got the logo up there.
Poisoning your brain.
So many nicknames and changes of this team, man. I don't even care what you call him anymore. I want you to answer this one, Kyle. Matthew Stafford, droppable?
Yeah, totally droppable. Like I think there are leagues where he's still probably the best, better than any quarterback on waivers, but that's just some leagues. If you have Jared Goff, even Geno Smith, they don't have great matchups this week, but frankly, they're just playing better football than Stafford. Those quarterbacks, I would take them over Stafford this week. So I don't think he's a mandatory drop. I still have leagues where I'm starting him. I have 1 or 2 leagues I can count off the top of my head that I'm starting him. But do I think you need to hold on to him just because he's Matthew Stafford? Not at all.
You must be talking about some super flex.
Dude, that offense is so bad when they have literally last year they had per PFF the #1 pass blocking unit in the NFL. There are 32 teams in the NFL, and now they have the number 32 pass blocking unit in the NFL. Their left tackle, Joe Noteboom, who was like a decent sort of backup swing tackle, right now leads the NFL in pressures allowed among all tackles. And they have no backup receivers. Cooper Kupp's he is that dude, but almost no offense.
I don't even know. Is he really that dude though?
He's that dude. Oh, he's that dude. He's that dude.
Yeah,
what dude? He catch a lot of passes, but it's not getting them no touchdown.
That's fair. I mean,
how much is that his fault?
Yeah, I think to me, that's more of a product of the fact that the team is so dysfunctional that it can't even sort of.
I at one point he had 11 catches for 95 yards. That's Cam Akers efficiency right there.
I mean, let's not go there.
I stand for this.
Great for fantasy. We want that, but we know 11 catches for 95 yards. That's like Julian Edelman type stuff, which is
a good point, though, that no matter what Cooper Kupp does, he's only one guy. He cannot entirely propel Stafford to QB1 numbers.
Yeah,
For sure.
I agree with that. And
Then,
I
you
think the
know,
point that you made, Kyle, when you said they're now ranked 32nd in pass blocking offense per PFF, that was actually 22nd before that Niners game. And the Niners were number 1 defense in PFF. So, yeah, they put some work on the Rams. So don't hate on Cooper Kupp too much, man.
they knocked them down 10 spots.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's crazy. I want to give a shout out to George here, bringing up my Steelers. I'm in Pittsburgh. You guys could tell we're in Pittsburgh. By the way, it's got so dark in 20 minutes. But Gabe Davis should feast against the Steelers secondary. I do want to make a very interesting note here because over the past 5 to 6 years, when the team is laying in double-digit numbers, the under is absolutely the bet to make more times than not. It's hitting at a 75% clip. But the thing that I'm scared of in this one, the 2 referees call the most pass interference penalties in the entire NFL. And if you look at the Bills secondary and the Steelers secondary, there's going to be some chucking. Josh Allen and Kenny Pickett. So, yeah, I'm not too sure how to approach that game. I do think all the Bills guys, you target everybody, though. Is Melvin Gordon worth a flex start tonight?
Hell yeah.
PPR.
Dude, I just got outvoted on my main event team, and I think we're gonna take Dylan and J.K. Dobbins over him, and I'm upset. I'm not handling this well.
I would take both of them over him. Yeah.
I would. Yeah. To me, the way the Broncos have deployed their backfield, giving them obviously they fumbled it all away, but giving them goal line work, targeting Russell Wilson is targeting running backs at the highest rate in his career. They're favorites of over 3 points. I believe this is at home for them as well against defense, losing a bunch of players to injury. Like I think he's like an RB1 this week, and I can't believe we're benching him. I'm not upset. I'm doing fine, in fact.
You're going to be upset if you keep riding Melvin Gordon's train, my guy.
That might be true. He's
Melvin Gordon, he going to do something tonight. He going to do something.
We'll see about that. We will see about that.
It might be Cooper Kupp type numbers. Like, he might get 20 carries for 85 yards or something.
Yeah, our man Jerry's dropped this question a couple times. Jerry, we appreciate you always being in the chat. You're in here religiously with us. This is a tough decision. I'm going to let Kyle and Lawrence handle. But I do like the options you have, especially with the Niners guys.
I think I will. I think we're just looking for one of these guys, right? I think I'll go with Judy. I don't know. I'm a sucker for the Broncos passing attack, despite it being kind of up and down and down and down and sometimes up, but mostly down this year. But Russell Wilson's still playing relatively efficient football. He's right around league average in EPA per play. To me, Ayuk is like very clearly the third receiver on his team. I think George Kittle getting all the snaps, running around on 80+% of the team's dropbacks is George Kittle. He's going to blow up at some point. And Deebo Samuel had like it was like a 26-27% target share last year. I just don't want to dig that deep on Jimmy Garoppolo's weapons, right? So to me, it's Judy. I'd field answers for Mostert, though. He's getting a lot of snaps. They're favorites against a pretty weak Jets defense. So I don't hate that. I'll take Judy, though.
Yeah, I definitely like Mostert in this spot, too. Now that you say that,
yeah,
thinking about it,
he got a lot of run. I like Mostert. Is Ayuk the third receiver in name or in production in targets?
I mean, I think Deebo Samuel so far has dominated the targets. George Kittle.
Because Ayuk, he getting more work than Kittle. He's a great blocker. They got this dude playing left tackle now.
Well, I was about to say that.
Dude, Kittle just does this though, right? Like Kittle does this though. He still ran a route last week on like over 80% of the team's drop back. So he's still like playing a wide receiver.
Yeah, he the guy. He really that dude.
Dude, he's so good. He does this too, like where he goes out and the scheme doesn't work out, or just the low volume doesn't work out for him, and he gets 40 yards, and the next week goes for 180. It's just kind of been his career on the 49ers. I think more often than not, you're better off betting on Kittle over Ayuk. And to me, the kind of inverse of that is in this spot, I'd take Judy. I'd also, though, if you guys want Mostert, I like Mostert too.
Yeah, I'll throw it out there that I see a lot of people keep trying to chase on George Kittle on his receptions or receiving yards. Just stop. With Trent Williams out, this guy is going to have to block way more than he should be this season. So I do not think George Kittle has a whole lot of value, in my opinion, but I am just one man with an opinion. This question, though, made me laugh when you guys were talking because he said, I know afterwards that we're talking about it.
If you know,
it's Jared.
Then what are we talking about?
It's Jared. And we hate to say it. I mean, we're in agreement, right? It's Goff and no question about it. Well, Kyle might have a different opinion.
Kyle said, hell no.
No. I'm fine with Goff. It's totally a question.
It is.
I wouldn't say like if you want Goff, there's no sort of hard pushback from me. The Broncos have been fine this year passing. I have optimism they will get better. But dude, Goff's been laying the wood. I mean, he has been absolutely dynamite. I believe they lead the league in points scored. I get they have a tough matchup versus the Patriots this week.
It's a real tough matchup.
It's tough, but I mean, the fact that we saw him, I know it's against terrible defense, but the fact that we saw him last week go out without Amon-Ra, without DJ Chark, without DeAndre Swift go out, like I have confidence that this team plays aggressive. They pass a lot. Goff is able to distribute. He's got a good offensive line. I think the matchup has me leaning Russell Wilson, but if you guys want to Goff, I wouldn't blame you. He's been unreal.
I gotta look at my rankings real quick.
I know. I always think about that. Am I contradicting my rankings?
Because I don't want to go against my rank.
Laura, you said Kyle Pitts could be out this week, correct? Was that?
Yeah. I don't. He's definitely not expected to play. Hasn't practiced all week.
Cool.
Yeah, so there you go. You're gonna go Tyler Conklin, and I'm glad that I'm not glad that he ain't playing, especially since today is the man's birthday. You know what I'm saying? Ooh. 22. But this makes this question easier, and it makes me, less sad that we even come to this right now. But it don't look like Kyle Pitts gonna play. So yeah, Tyler Conklin, enjoy that.
At 22 years old, man, that's a pretty wild thing. Kyle Pitts at 22 years old, he could literally go down as one of the greatest tight ends of all time. This guy plays, 10, 12 years, but we'll see what happens. I'm hoping for it. This is a pretty big question here. You got my guy George Pickens in there. Rachaad White, Pacheco. These are some pretty solid guys here. But I think I'd probably rather have the top three options. Are you guys in agreement?
Yep, I wouldn't. Logan Thomas, just a dude. Rachaad White, I like the stash of Rachaad White. Maybe if your roster was really desperate for running backs, you could argue that, and the same with Pacheco. But I'd hold on to your guys.
Yeah, same. I'll keep the same dudes.
All right. We'll get to a couple more, and then we're going to talk about the game a little bit here. Let's go with Jeff Wilson or James Robinson.
Give me Jeff.
Jeff?
Give me Jeff.
Ain't the Jaguars playing the Texans?
They are.
Yeah, it's a good spot. It's a
big
good
bounce back game for James Robinson. Big bounce back. Austin Eckler finally became a good running back and had a decent game, a good game versus the Texans. I don't think James Robinson, he might not get the 3 touchdowns, but he could have just as good a day yardage-wise against the Texans.
All right, Vaughn, break the tie.
Yeah, James Robinson has had 75 yards, 25, 99, and 48 in his 4 meetings, touchdown twice in those games, 3 receptions or more in 3 of those games. Give me James Robinson. Hate it, but give me it. All right, This one's a pretty interesting question. Mark Ingram over Nyheim Hines. Denver and Philly D. Which?
Mark Ingram. Well, Alvin Kamara should play this week.
Yep.
So I would go Nyheim Hines there to go half of the question. What do you think about that? Those two, Kyle?
Yeah, easily. If Alvin Kamara's back, you're like praying for a desperation touchdown from Mark Ingram. Like he gets in the mix, right? He's good for 7 carries and a catch, right? But I mean, assuming Alvin Kamara's back, and even if out of the blue, Alvin Kamara was sort of benched if he was downgraded on Friday or whatever, that's just not like a gamble I'm willing to take because you're drawing dead if Mark Ingram isn't the starter. So it's easily Hines. And because I'm going Hines, I will take Philly D. Though I think if I didn't, if you had a different running back, I'd probably take Denver. But I don't want that kind of negative correlation on my team. So I will.
I'll go against. I will go against. I'll take Hines and the Denver D.
It's not a bad call. It's fine.
Because I think both things could happen.
True.
The Philly going against the Cardinals, who finally played some good offense in Week 4. They just going against the better quarterback, the better offense. The Philadelphia Eagles are. So I'll just ride with Denver going up against Matt Ryan, who leading the league in turnovers, doesn't have his running back, and he's basically getting killed back there when it comes to pass protection. So give me the Denver D, not Nick Chubb, Bradley Chubb. Let's go.
Let's go. Yeah, I love this
they
one.
Cousins,
I would not
they cousins.
I like both defenses a lot this week. People might be a little scared of Philly. I think people are going to be playing Arizona, like betting Arizona this week, and I think that's a huge mistake. I'm going to
Yeah.
give you guys a little tidbit of information that you're not going to get many other places. Home underdogs of +5.5 is a complete fade every time. The last 6 times they've lost outright all 6, and they've gone 2-4 ATS. But if you go back 4 or 5 seasons, we're talking about 20, 30, 40% hit rates over time. But if you get a road underdog of +5.5, like the Seahawks this week against the Saints, oh my Lord, we're talking about 80% hit rates over the last 5 years, up 15 plus units on the money line. So when you see 5.5s, they're very trappy line betting. But if you take the road underdog at 5.5, you're a much better bet than the home underdog at 5.5.
Yeah, I
So
mean
fade the Cardinals this week.
the over under too look crazy at 49. That's they looking for some points that game.
Dude, I'm so glad you're on Cardinals fade. Cardinals are terrible. Like, they have no clue what they're doing on offense. And on the other side, the Eagles, like, they are humming, man. It is unreal how tuned in with their skill players they are. They know exactly how to win with the players they have. And Cliff is the stone cold opposite. My God, man, figure stuff out. He's not going to. He's never going to figure stuff out. That's just what he is.
Yeah.
He runs a scheme, and if his players don't fit to his scheme, they're going to lose. And guess what? They're going to lose. So, I love that call. Yeah. Dude, they're bad. My God.
They are bad, and they're such a bad home team. You look at the home and away trends for the Arizona Cardinals and Kyler Murray and Cliff Clinsbury, it is insane. Fade them at home, ride them on the road. It's really as simple as that when it comes to the Cardinals. We're going to do 2 more here. Clyde Edwards-Helaire or Nyheim Hines. It's so sad that Clyde Edwards-Helaire continues to beat me in fantasy off of nothing but touchdowns. And then I also want to get to this question too, because this guy, Alum, it really needs help, it sounds like. But it is trade season, ladies and gentlemen. Lawrence just did an awesome video on it. So I agree. We got to start making these trades happen. So Clyde Edwards-Helaire or Nyheim Hines, and then get to this question, and we'll give our picks out for the game and start them and sit them tonight.
I mean, looking at this, I think you solid at receiver and running back. This right here is just the matter of preference. Do you want to have a top 3 receiver or a top 3 running back? Because that's what Diggs and Nick Chubb are right now. Metcalf has been playing good the past 2 games. You got Godwin getting back into the swing of things. I think you got Cook and Kamara. That's nice. They haven't got off to a good start, but you still got 2 top 10 guys right there when they're at their best. And there's no guarantee that Nick Chubb gonna run 140. This to me, it just do you want the receiver or the running back? Like I don't think
I like the running back, but
yeah.
The receivers are so talented on this team. Like, how many players are in this league? First off, this cannot be a 12 league. If it is, I mean, kudos to you, my guy.
I think both of them about to go off this week. Diggs about to tear up the Pittsburgh defensive backs, and Nick Chubb going to run over the Chargers like Dameon Pierce did.
Yeah. Natsa says, I wouldn't trade Diggs for Chubb. Hawkeye agrees with him here. Kyle, any opinion on this one before we give it our start and sits for tonight?
I take Diggs over Chubb, assuming this is anything other than like a standard league. But given your receiver depth, I hope it's not. To me, you're like you said, like Lauren said, you're good at both positions. This isn't like a league-breaking thing, but especially with the way Gabe Davis is playing, which is to say he goes out and does nothing every week. Diggs is so far and beyond the focal point of what is probably the best passing attack in the league that I will jump on that.
Yeah, I can ride with that one for sure. So, guys, keep filling up the chat here. We are going to get some more questions and answers here shortly, but let's talk about this game in general here. So I'll kick things off, as I already said, and we've saw in the chat, you guys are with us. The snoozer is in effect here. I got the under 43.5. I would buy it up to the 43 if you have 42s or 42.5s. Honestly, though, I am not scared of any number laying in this game. Both teams are just not good offensively right now. We got some of the best weapons out. Denver remains one of the most penalized teams in the NFL. And then when you look at Matt Ryan outdoors, not a good spot. 43-40 on the money line compared to 65-43 when he's playing in a dome. But Lawrence knows all about that, having seen Matt Ryan play for his favorite team all along. So you have a prop on your guy, your former quarterback. What is that prop?
my former quarterback. Where is it? So I like Matt Ryan. I like Matt Ryan over 250 passing yards because it's at plus 130. It's at plus 130. He's played 4 games. In 2 of those games, due to game script, he threw for 350 yards. Another game he threw for 222 yards, their one win. And then he's got one game slightly under 200 yards. So all of that tells me, and then you put it together with this game and how we expect it to go. I could see something where he gets at least 250 just passing yards. Because are they gonna run the ball on Denver? No, probably not. Hey, Philip Lindsay, hey, revenge game. I don't know. But like I said, 2 games of 350 plus, another game of just under 250. Give me that because it's the plus money here.
Yeah, I could definitely ride with that one. I think that they're going to be forced to throw. We saw that. A couple people comment in the questions or in the comment section say, I like Michael Pittman tonight just because the Colts are going to have to throw the ball to him. Certainly agree with that. I mean, Matt Ryan may be tossing picks left and right tonight.
Yeah, and look, none of that. He could throw 3 picks for all I care. 3 picks, 2 fumbles. If you get 250 pass yards, you hitting, and I like the odds on this. Who knows, man? Who knows? Like, for some reason, the whole Colts offense wanted to do well against the Chiefs, and then they came back to their regular self. So who knows what they got? Either way, however the game goes, you could see Matt Ryan getting those 250 in his spot.
Yeah, no, I could definitely see it happen too. And Kyle, you're back to some savagery with your props. I'm not gonna lie. I do like your
one really grimy prop in this.
Yeah, I don't even know who the one player is that you listed, so we might as well just start with him because he's got to be a backup tight end.
Oh, you better believe he's a backup tight end. And I think I've been in favor of backup tight ends. I think getting their overs recently, but this is not one I'm on. It's because I found a really interesting line to get on. It's Melvin Gordon, more receiving yards than Kylan Granson. Russell Wilson targeting his receivers, or targeting his running backs, at the highest rate of his career. No Javonte Williams. Mike Boone, I don't think he plays a massive role in this backfield. So to me, I like Melvin Gordon soaking up a lot of the targets that we saw from Javonte Williams. And this was just a unique way to get anti-Kylan Granson, where I thought there was a little bit of value on Kylan Granson unders. But when I saw that I had actually, if we talk about it, I have Melvin Gordon over 2.5 receptions. I like his receiving props overs. This is a really unique way to parlay what I thought was a solid under on Kylan Granson, but an even better over on Melvin Gordon. So I think I'm scooping up a lot of value there. Kylan Granson is a legit backup tight end on a team that I don't think is going to do particularly well tonight. So to me, this is a kind of a little double whammy.
I wish we had some music right now because, I just want to play 21 Savage right now. That is savagery sicko mode. Who's betting? Who's finding this value here? So I like that play a lot. Kylan Granson.
Parlay.
Yeah, let's throw that in the. Yeah, we'll definitely throw that in the parlay tonight. I'm actually gonna pull up.
I doubt this is on. I mean, it's on a U.S. sports book, but
that's actually
you gotta dig for it. I saw this came up. It's just I'm just looking for trying to line shop as best as I can. And this comes up, I'm like, well, that's an easy one. I'll take that.
But you got to do it, Vaughn. You going night, man? Turn your lights on, man.
That is the thing. My lights are on all the way, but it just keeps getting darker here in PA. I'm gonna scoot over closer to the light, but I'm gonna do it whenever no one's paying attention. I wish I had my Batman shirt or my Joker shirt right now because I really feel like I'm like a villain and I'm about to do something real grimy. But I'm just winning an under tonight. That's all. What else are you on, Lawrence? What's another prop in your bag?
I like Melvin. Well, it's it kind of ties to what Kyle was saying right here. I like the over for Melvin Gordon on 13.5 receiving yards.
Nice.
He's he's done it twice out of the 4 games, and that's with Javonte Williams. Obviously, no Javonte Williams now, and it's pretty much simple as that. They'll have to get it. They'll have to get him the ball, like Kyle said. The Russell Wilson throwing to the running backs is more than he's ever been. So give me that easy. That could take him 1 catch. It could take him 2 or 3, but I think he'll get it.
Yeah, I like that play too. I think that he's, like you said, targets the running backs more than any other quarterback. Kyle said that. And I just also want to make a note that today is homecoming in my hometown, so I got my family inside. That's why I'm outside. In case anyone's wondering why I choose to sit in the dark here tonight.
You should have
But
put
I
him on
see
the podcast.
I've done a show where he said you should have put him on the podcast. I've done a show where I have like normally a ring light behind me, and I forgot to turn the ring light on because it was still daytime out. And with an hour span, the sun went down, and I'm where you are, except it was a solo show. So you are just forced to watch me in the pitch black, probably touting disgusting Kylan Granson unders, just in the most down bad situation you've ever seen.
Hey, I'm just trying to set the mood, people. That's all that's going on here. No big deal. But let's talk about another grimy play. This is an under that I think I might have to get on. You guys both actually have unders on quarterbacks that I love tonight. So Kyle, hit yours first, and Lawrence, you follow up.
Yeah, I have 12.5 rushing yards minus 108 under for Russell Wilson. To me, it's not like a fade of Russell Wilson's talent. It's that the Colts right now are below average in pressure rate. They're below average in blitz rate. And if Russell Wilson at this point in his career isn't getting pushed by pressure to scramble out of the pocket, they're not designing runs for him. He's doing nothing but throwing the football when he's 30 some odd years old. So to me, I don't think the Indy defense is going to get much pressure tonight. And if a team doesn't get pressure on Russell Wilson, he's just not going to get rushing yards. So I think they win this game. They probably get to run the ball a lot at the end of the game with the running backs, obviously. So I like Russell Wilson under as a sort of support of the Broncos, in fact.
Mine is actually over. Mine is I got Matt
over
Ryan.
2.5 on Matt Ryan?
Over 2.5. You see what Kyle just said? He doesn't think they're going to get pressure, so they're not going to run. Well, Matt Ryan is going to get pressure, and he is going to run. In two of the 4 games this season, he's hit that over. He's hit over 2.5 yards.
Right.
So they'll definitely get after him, and they will most certainly get after him tonight. He'll find a little crease one time, and then he'll go and slide after 3 yards, and boom, that's the over right there.
Best of luck to you, brother. I don't know. Matt Ryan getting mobile.
Listen, it ain't about being mobile.
2.5 is not mobile.
Right. It ain't about being mobile. Look, week 1, he had 12 yards. Week 2, he had 4 yards. Then he went down to -4. But it's okay. It's okay.
I think it was last year during the preseason. Like, it was his only preseason appearance. He had like a design quarterback draw in the preseason with the Falcons, and he ran. I don't know if he got in the end zone or not. But watching Matt Ryan run is one of the funniest things you'll ever see.
Yeah, he'll get there.
I'm gonna hop in here and give out 2 of my
Wait, hold on.
Oh,
Matt
okay.
Ryan has done that 3 or 4 games. He's hit over that 2.5. So yeah, give me that.
All right, and this line did open up at 1.5. I saw the whale capper from Bet the Edge. He gave this out today too. So Sharps are liking Matt Ryan's over rushing yards, but I'll leave that one to you guys.
I mean, it could turn into an 80-yard run like Lamar.
Damian Pierce. Let's see. So I have 2 long shots, little lunch money sprinkles here. We're going to start with the normal one, the one that actually has a better chance. Under 3 touchdowns scored in this game on DraftKings at plus 475. I do like this. Like we said, 2 of the 3 lowest scoring teams in the NFL. Definitely be a field goal type of game. But I could see exactly 3 or 4 touchdowns being scored in this game. So for almost plus 500 odds, I really like this. And then for my longest shot of them all, in no way do I actually think this is probably going to win. But am I going to sprinkle no touchdown scored in a Colts-Broncos games when these 2 teams combine for about 32 points per game? Yeah, I'm going to sprinkle this. This actually opened up at plus 10,000 and has gone down to plus 7,000. So there are actually people betting this in the world. Mind you, I'm not throwing more than $5 on this bet. I think that if we're going to see a Thursday night football game that doesn't have any touchdowns scored, it certainly looks like a Broncos-Colts game with no Javonte Williams or Jonathan Taylor is advisable for that. So, like I said, long shots. That's what we're doing here.
Yeah,
guys. That is a long shot. That's the longest of the long shots.
I might put $10 on it too, just in case it happened and I ain't left out.
Dude, you can totally see a universe in which Melvin Gordon, it's 2nd and 1 on the 1 yard line. Me with my showdown lineups. I argued about starting him in the FFPC. Guys, we've locked him up for a touchdown. Fumbles. It's going the other way. Tackled at the 50. Game ends. It's 9-3.
Dude, Yeah, I could see it happening too. But I like the value. I mean, what's not to like about it? But let's do quickly our stardom situms, and we got 10 minutes because we got plenty of questions in here. We're gonna get back to the chat and hook you guys up. So, Kyle, hit them with your stardom situm and your highest scoring player here, rapid fire.
Yeah, for my stardom, I like Jerry Jeudy this week. I think this is a decent bounce back spot against a Indy defense that's been banged up. We have a decent implied team total for the Broncos, and Russell Wilson. I don't think he's playing as bad as his numbers show. He's like right dead middle in EPA per play and CPOE, and Jerry Jeudy still has clearly a number 2 role on this offense. So I think if you're wavering on starting or sitting him, I'd get him in the lineup tonight. I'm not extremely confident in him. I still think he's the number 2 on this team. But it's a team I'm still kind of trying to buy the dip on as much as it hurts me every single week. Just never not getting burned on this. But I do think it's a good bounce back spot. Set him every single tight end. I know we've seen the Mo Alley Cox double score. We have seen I think it was the Jelani Woods double score. But the Colts are using complete tight end by committee. None of them getting a full route share. And if you had any sick fantasies of playing Albert Akui-Bunam, which I've had, I was disgustingly interested in Albert Akui-Bunam all summer, and none of the tight ends in this game are startable.
Yeah, I could definitely get down with that. And you got Melvin Gordon for your highest score player.
Oh yeah, I love
him.
Love me some Melgo. Yeah, I like him to get in the end zone first, plus 700. I mean, if this team, if you take away 3 fumbles, this team looks like a good offense, but they just keep doing dumb things. And I think those things are not stable. I think the horribly timed delay of games and the fumbles on the goal line, I think those things are not sticky from a mathematical perspective, including the fumbles Melvin Gordon has coughed up. Maybe he fumbles at a higher rate than average, but do those always come on the 1 yard line, or do they always result in touchdowns for the other team? God, I hope not.
And Lawrence, for you, your first time touchdown scorer, Fuego, my friend. I love it.
Yeah, I'm all on the Denver defense tonight, man. Hell, my long shot is having them score 2 touchdowns. That's my long shot bet. That's at plus 4,000 right there. As far as my stardom situms go, my stardom is like Kyle already took the good ones. Like, who else am I gonna pick? I can't pick Paris Campbell. I'm not gonna pick KJ Hamler. I'm not gonna. But then if I pick Cortland Sutton, that's too obvious.
Yeah.
So give me Jeudy too. Sit for my situm. Nyheim Hines, don't think he's gonna do what people who have them in their lineup. You praying right now. That's what I tell you about that. And my highest fantasy score. Let's go back to the Denver defense. Why? Because they're going to score that touchdown. And when you score that touchdown as a defense, that's automatic. You getting 15 points. So then you add in the sacks, the fumbles that Matt Ryan going to have, that interception they going to have, which probably go pick 6. Don't forget about special teams. We got that too. We got plenty of chances for this defense to beat the offense tonight.
Yeah, I like that a lot, man. I think there's going to be a lot of defense. We already said it. So getting back to this chat, Jimmy said prediction. I'm going ugly, 13-9 type of game. It's going to be 1 touchdown scored tonight. That's my prediction. You guys give your prediction, and then let's also talk about a couple different players here. Pittman or Dobbins tonight.
27-10 Broncos. Broncos country. Let's ride. I think the Broncos are still a far better team than this Colts roster. And Pittman or Dobbins, I'll still lean on Pittman. I get that their offense probably doesn't look great without Taylor, with Pittman as the focal point. And Dobbins looked good last week. He was finally back. But would it shock me if Kenyon Drake, who was inactive last week, goes out and gets half of the routes and they give him a goal line touch or whatever?
That would shock me.
Dude, I don't know.
That would shock me.
It makes sense for them to continue coddling J.K. Dobbins until he's back to full health. We still haven't seen a massive, snap share for him. Justice Hill got injured last week, so they were forced to use him a little more towards the end of the game. But I think it's still a backfield by committee. I'm very excited for J.K. Dobbins.
I think 17 carries. Give me 17 carries. If he gets 17 touches. Give me 17 touches. Give me Dobbins.
All right.
Real quick, should I trade CeeDee Lamb for J.K. Dobbins? Is that a fair trade? Someone did that straight up to me. That's the league I told you. I have J.J. Antonio or A.J. Brown, and D-Hop with CeeDee Lamb.
Keep
He
CeeDee
said
Lamb.
final.
This man
All
up here
right.
trying to get fantasy advice. He supposed to be giving.
Hey, what you mean? I
They're
need.
trying to get right on
You
his
know what?
league.
That's the last time I ask you guys for anything. All right. Matt McClung, the official Texas Tech grad, Matt McClung.
How about say, is
in
this
here.
him? Who is this? Who it is?
Should I flex Olave, Dobbs, or Damian Harris?
Give me Olave, man, dude. He's a legit one. Like, we saw him racking up the air yards with Jameis Winston, and finally in Jameis Winston's final game being healthy, he converted on them for like 147 yards. And then you think, oh well, he's a deep threat. Andy Dalton's not going to throw to him. Not the case. It turns out when Olave is just a really good football player and the team is banged up, he's going to continue to get the targets. So to me, Olave is like a true wide receiver one, even if the offense, they're not particularly good. I'm just going to take the guy who I know is going to lead his team in targets and air yards.
I should have put Chris Olave in my flex play article this week. Missed that one.
Big Gucci Price has commented now and said, we're dodging your question. We ain't dodging nothing, my guy. We got your answer right here. Well, Lawrence got your answer right here.
No, he ain't lying. We dodging it. Next. No,
all right, next. Melvin Gordon, under 60.5 rushing yards.
I saw this prop right here, and I just like I can't go on this one because that's tough.
Yes. Maddie says I teased the under 39.5. Getting spicy, my friend. I like that number a lot. I think that's a pretty solid one. Let's see. Alon, we got your question already. Thank you so much. Yes, sir. Make sure you get your guys in.
Slam that like button, by the way. Hit that like, slam it, subscribe, like button, get on it.
Yes, and then we got a good one here. Offered Dallas Goedert and Christian Kirk from Mark Andrews. That's tough. If you have Jalen Hurts like I do, I mean, I'm in love with this guy. He's my favorite fantasy guy. He's my MVP of fantasy, in my opinion. But I'd probably rather have Mark Andrews.
Yeah, I would take Andrews. That's game in, game out. No matter what happened in a Ravens game, Mark Andrews is gonna get his. That ain't the case for Goddard, and that's why this deal is a 2-for-1 right now.
That's a good way to put it. There's a reason you're getting two players and giving up one. Totally. Mark Andrews, like, he's playing not just like a tight end one role, like good tight end target share. He is legitimately one of the best like wide receiver numbers in the NFL right now. And you just don't find that at tight end. So to me, it's kind of a slam dunk. You still keep Mark Andrews there.
Yeah, I'm cracking up with the chat. Some of you guys are really cracking me up today. I'm not going to lie. But half PPR. This is a really good one, too. So we're going to get to about 2 or 3 more questions real quick. So drop them if you guys are still watching live. But there's a lot of different options here.
Is this one? You looking for one slot?
So, no. A running back, a receiver, and
yeah. Okay, my bad. I was about to say, damn, dog. All right. A running back, a receiver. So I like Stevenson right here against the Lions. A wide receiver.
Do it. You missed on him on the flex article. Get him in there.
Yeah, that's why I'm looking at Olave and McLaurin. Yeah, Olave versus Seahawks, easy. Throw that. So you got your running back Stevenson, Olave at the receiver. Now the flex for me, this is actually tough because Damien, none of these dudes is slouches right here except Gabe Davis. Najee playing.
I don't know, man. Najee's a slouch. He like.
Najee. I didn't see his name at the end right there.
I think he's the answer, and he's also the GOAT slouch of these guys. He is doing like nothing with his work. But we still should be betting on the guys who are running like 50+% routes, getting all the carries, even if they play for the Steelers with their dreadful line versus the Bills. I still think we need to be betting on Najee as like a top 20 or 24 receiver. I don't think he's a running back one, or I said receiver, running back. I don't think he's an RB1 anymore, but he's still in your flex.
I would have said Najee Harris running back first, to be honest. Then I would have said Stevenson flex.
Sure.
And Olave as the receiver. I just didn't see Najee Harris' name.
Yeah, no, Najee Harris, man. He's been a little bit of disappointment for the Steelers fans so far this season, but it's all right. The whole season's going to be a disappointment. No big deal. We're about to be like 1-7 here in a couple of weeks. Moe Ali Cox, over 20.5 yards. Tight end king. What do you think?
I mess with that. I think I definitely take his line was actually shocked. Actually, that line was shockingly close to Kyle and Grant.
Don't get about him.
Dude. I know. There's so much Melvin Gordon slander in the chat. And I get it.
Hey, y'all be hating on my boy Melvin.
I get it, man. He got to stop fumbling. I like the over on Mo Alley Cox. I was actually shocked how close his line was to Kylan Granson when Mo Alley Cox is clear.
Matt throws for 400 yards.
Yes.
Maybe
We appreciate you, Hawkeye, Chase, Josh, everybody. This one, Matt Ryan versus Tom Brady. Who wins a race?
Definitely.
That's
Matt
the
Ryan.
best question we could end the show on.
It's Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan.
Got more hearts.
This isn't even
Tom
close.
Brady's going through a divorce. He will cook this man right now.
Nah, he can't even get out of bed at this point.
Oh,
dude.
Damn, this one's deep.
Tom Brady slow. That boy
I'm gonna be on the
slow.
other side of this one. I like Tom Brady. 45 years old or not, same age as my mother. Give me Tom Brady. I don't even care.
Bro, Big Ben will beat Tom Brady right now in a race.
Hey, I don't know about all that, my guy. But we definitely appreciate everyone that is tuned in today, watched us live. Make sure you guys get the NBC Sports Digital app, the Roto World League with Kyle and Lawrence in there. Make sure you follow these guys on Twitter as always. Kyle tweets here, Lawrence Jackson at Lord Don't Lose. Excuse me. And of course, I'm V Money Sports, Vaughn Dalzell. Appreciate you guys. Like, subscribe. We're going to see you on Monday, 7 to 8. It is Chiefs versus Raiders. Lots of points. No more snoozers, ladies and gentlemen. We're coming next time. So we'll see you guys there. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your night. And best of luck with your fantasy and betting matchups.